Welcome to today's Retirees with Certified Financial Planner Wayne Maslyk of Great Lakes Benefits and Wealth Management. Today, as you can see, we are not in the studio again. We're trying to abide by some of the suggestions that the coronavirus crowd is telling us. So we're limiting our interaction in the studios and limiting, so Wayne has graciously invited us into his lovely office. It's nice in here.
That's where I spend most of my working day, in front of clients right here.
In this office, actually.
Yeah, in my other office in Elyria, but yeah, similar setup.
Sure. Now, when this coronavirus, when it first attacked, and I know this is just me now at this point, the stock market went down to it dropped what, 30% or something like that?
Yeah.
But it has rebounded dramatically, hasn't it?
Yeah,
as of this recording.
Yeah. People are wondering, how is this market, staying afloat? And not only staying afloat, how's it not going backwards or staying down where it was? Mm-hmm. And it's rebounded nicely. Most folks have got whatever losses they had in March or during those couple months. Most got them back, mm-hmm. which is good. And by the way, that's a good time to change your risk approach if you were very nervous in March. If you were losing sleep, worried about your retirement funds.
Oh, sure.
That's an indication you were taking too much risk.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you shouldn't be, if you lost a lot in March, maybe you shouldn't be taking that much risk moving forward. Mm-hmm. So now that you get your gains back, your losses back, you got your gains, now you may want to tone down things. And I'm not saying you should, because, it's good to take an appropriate amount of risk. You shouldn't be too afraid of the market, because mm-hmm. that's what the market does.
Sure.
But if you did get afraid and alarmed and were losing sleep, now's a good time to tone things down so you don't have to go through that again.
Sure.
When the market does pull back. But the market is staying afloat. More than half of the stocks in the S&P 500, more than half of the companies are COVID-friendly companies. So they're, tech companies, delivery companies, healthcare companies.
Okay.
So that's what's doing it.
Okay.
And consumer confidence, thinking that this is going to be over fairly soon.
Sure.
So companies are confident in rehiring and,
mm-hmm.
going back to halfway business as normal.
Well, a lot of, I know some auto dealers that I am familiar with, are telling me that some of their best months in their history have been in the last couple of months. Mm-hmm. So the retail...
You know why that is?
I'm assuming because the manufacturers are putting 0% interest
incentives
on 84-month loans and things.
Yeah, not only that, big, cash back and discounted prices.
Okay.
So, absolutely, they want to sell cars. So when they give the consumer a great deal, the consumer, they're going to buy a car and
sure.
maybe buy a car earlier than they thought they would.
Right. Now, does that set well for those who are looking to get into a 2 or 3 year old car?
I don't know. I really don't know the numbers on that.
Yeah.
Depending on the type of vehicle, I know the SUV secondary market, for used vehicles is still ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Price-wise, you're going to pay a lot of money. But you'd think they'd have an influx of used cars. Normally the best time of the year to buy a used car is January, because of the best time to buy a new car is December, right? So they have...
Sure.
All these trade-ins, and in January you go get your car. But right. Yeah, I haven't checked the used car market recently.
Sure.
And normally I like to follow up, keep up on that.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to the Car Pro show.
Sure.
It's a great show. Jerry Reynolds, great resource for people looking to buy a new or used car. But I've missed him the last couple weekends.
You've been, it's summertime, and you've probably been out with some of your clients on the boats, or maybe with this
Yeah, we
COVID.
Haven't taken any clients because of, the social distancing.
Right.
We canceled our annual cruise to the islands, where we get the good time. Mm-hmm. We rent that for the day just for our clients. That is put off.
Right.
We're also working on a Canadian Rockies Railroad trip for some of my clients that has always wanted to do that trip. So we were trying to organize it over the last year, and that's shut down too.
Okay.
So.
Now, before we get into our next segment, let's go back to where we were in a previous program, and for the next minute or so. The clients that you are working with, if I understand what you have told me through the past, they weathered this storm very well because I'm just going to say it, they listened to your advice.
Well, yeah, I mean, I educate my clients, similar to how we educate people on the show. And if they had enough money safe, in no risk accounts, and then with their risk money, if they didn't take too much risk, got too aggressive with it, it was no big deal going through that. Yes, they had lost value. The people still working and saving in their retirement plans had it really good because they're buying every pay period at a lower share price in their 401ks and 403bs. And now they're seeing the fruits of that with the market being back up. But yeah, if you had a rough time financially, with your investments through that, something should be done to address it.
Sure.
People, should have taken that, in stride.
Right.
The market drops like that all the time. I mean, every 6 to 8 years or so, history shows big pullbacks happen.
Right.
And it's going to happen again. So you have to make sure your investments are set up where you can weather that, with peace of mind.
Sure. Now, friends, this is why you need to make that telephone call, 866-626-3990. Take the time to get yourself familiar with Wayne and his office and what he does, and put together a plan that makes sense for your family so that when this pullback happens, when, the roller coaster, when it's going on the downside, you can weather that, sleep well at night, and you can move right through. And right now is a great time, as Wayne was saying earlier, to reevaluate where you are. If you were a little nervous over the last couple of months because of what was happening, now is an excellent time to make that phone call at 866-626-3990, or go to that website, today'sretirees.com. When we come back, we're going to talk about impeding your retirement.